It's me, Vera, here to remind you that this is an adult podcast. That means we're going to deal with tough topics. Take a break if you need it, and be kind to yourself, because we sure won't be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cracked Crown, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition podcast. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, joined today by Josh, Bub, Mark, and Dot. It has been forever since I've had more than like one or two people on an episode.
It's true.
I think it's probably been like 4 or 5 months. It's good to see so many beautiful, friendly faces. Hello.
It's good to be back.
Hello.
Yeah, last episode was a Sean one-off, and the one before that was a Duke one-off. And we left Duke in a precarious situation. And Sean had himself a precarious encounter. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, it was good. I think, personally, the coterie would actually non-sarcastically be proud of Sean. Genuinely.
It's growth.
Character growth. But yeah, we'll be jumping into the episode here in a second. Before we do, as always, a big shout out to all you listeners just for listening to the show. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here where we are. Without your support, if you have anybody who's looking for like a new podcast to listen to, who loves tabletop RPGs, just let them know about us. I saw somebody in the Discord. Like it was new that jumped in a couple days ago, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. When this comes out, I don't know what that will be. But
and their husband pointed them to us, and yeah. So it was that. Yeah, it's your word of mouth that kind of helps us grow. And if you're looking to go above and beyond, you can also head over to patreon.com/podbynight, where you can join a bunch of tiers, get some cool rewards, and directly support the show. Any special announcements that we want to talk about before we move in, or any like things happening?
The new storyline for the community play will roll out in October. So you can get ready for that. Some candy shenanigans, some Scott free shenanigans, maybe. Oh, Scott. I hate Scott so much.
I love him.
Target number one is Scott.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, then. Without further ado, if that's all we got, then let's just get right into the episode. Let's set the scene and rein things in and see what our scattered coterie has been up to. And as our vision as a listener and the viewer comes in, it's not of a busy city street or a familiar hotel. Instead, it's the dull, musky room that holds a library, a small library, as it may be, but still one that, as we see the door, a large oaken wooden door open up to this room, and we see Max being led in by a Tremere. Max, as you step into this small library, you see it goes about, I would say, probably like another 10 feet above you or so, where these bookshelves line to the ceiling itself. And as your eyes kind of flicker across the books, it's a mix of history of the city itself, of various countries around the world, and of course, varying occult that you as Max wouldn't probably be all super familiar with just on looking. And as this person walks you in, they just turn to you and say, they'll be with you in a few moments. I'm going to tend to your friends and make sure they're taken care of. Is there anything you need in the immediacy? Are we in any danger of being overly hungry?
Nah, I think I'm good, thanks. Maybe you could give me a cushion for my head.
They gesture over to a small couch that actually has a large couple of pillows on it. And they just give you a polite nod when they gesture over to it.
Hey, I was just kidding. No worries.
And they turn to leave, and the door shuts behind them. The Chantry itself, unsurprisingly to you, is bigger on the inside than it appears on the outside. Blood magic and magic itself is confusing, and the Chantry has various protections on it. Who knows how much of what you've even seen is real or an illusion meant to just distract or trick people trying to break into the Chantry itself. You are left alone for approximately 15 minutes before there's a gentle knock at the door, and then it opens. A young woman, maybe in her early 30s, with dark brown hair and brown eyes, with a simple jeans and a t-shirt, steps inside with a small brown notebook, and as she shuts the door, she turns to you and she reaches out her hand. Pleasure to meet you. You can call me Miss Dubois.
Hey, hiya, Miss Dubois. What's the rumpus?
The rumpus being, you needing help? And she almost like mindlessly mirrors the word rumpus without much of any accent on it or intention behind it. She walks over to a chair that sits across from the couch. I'm told that you are here for a potential ritual, service of the Chantry itself. I'm all ears.
Yeah. I'm told that you guys might be able to help me out with this. Let me just say that some former associates of an old acquaintance of mine got it into their head that maybe they want me dead. And they try to make that happen. So I basically want to keep tabs on them. Also, there's one of them that has made contact with me, so to speak, claiming not to be part of their group. And I just want to make sure that she's on the up and up.
Almost like a psychiatrist or psychologist. As you're speaking to them, there's no reaction whatsoever as you tell them about some maybe wanting to kill you and this other individual. However, she is writing fiercely the entire time into her notebook as you are doing so. When you come to a natural stop in your request, she says, so a scrying ritual at the bare minimum for this particular individual. Are you familiar with their face, and do you have an object of theirs that would certainly make the process a little easier for our...
I don't think I got any... Wait, I got a card from her, did I not?
That's a very good question. I
think she actually gave me a card.
I think you did give you a card, yeah. I think she actually did. Yes.
Yep.
You just Max reach into his pocket and kind of just like pull the card out?
Yep. It just says, okay, the lady in question is an actual lady. Lady Adriana Sinclair is how she goes by. Ventru.
You see her jotting it down in the notebook, and she nods.
This here's a card she gave me.
Do you lay it on the table, or do you just kind of like show it?
I'll hold it up for now. Mm-hmm. If she doesn't take it from me,
She doesn't. She does not reach for it at all. She looks and nods and then continues writing things down.
Yeah. And, well, the other people in question... Okay, I'm going to stop pussyfooting around the bush here. The scumbag in question was a fella by the name of Gustav Nosferatu, like me. Matter of fact, he was my sire, all right? And, well, I wouldn't call him a coterie per se, but he had a bunch of assholes he hung out with. They were Elias Bouchard, Malkavian, Cassandra Viridian, also a Malk, and a Bruja by the name of Breaker. Victor Dragovic's his real name.
All right. And your request is for us to look into each individual member here and give you a location of where they can be found?
Hey, if you could pull that off, that'd be great. I'd particularly like to know where Breaker's hanging his hat.
When you say that, she gives a polite, almost practiced smile. She gently closes her notebook and she crosses her legs and leans in. The Chantry can, of course, accomplish many things, but there is a cost, you understand.
Yeah. Well, this is sort of coterie business, so the Drac Pack will be taking care of that. I don't know if you've been briefed, but I don't really do the boon thing.
She nods. We usually don't ask for boons, nor do we need or require monetary compensation. For something like this, each individual, it's not a relatively time-consuming ritual. A vial of vitae for each one should be a sufficient cost.
Gotcha. And, I guess I want to know if Lady Adriana is on the up and up when she says that she's not part of this crew.
That can be accomplished, sir. Now, are you willing to put forward payment now?
Yeah.
She looks down to the names. Are you sufficiently full enough for us to draw 1, 2, 3, around 4 or 5 vials of vitae from you?
Yeah, I came loaded for bear.
He opens up his trench coat and there's like blood bags, basically. It's like the guy selling letters on Sesame Street, essentially.
Yeah. She got kind of looks. Her eyebrows raised. She's I meant your own vitae.
Yeah. No, this is to top myself up after you're done.
And the first time, the entire time that you've been speaking to her, you see a very momentary, subtle surprise on her face that you, when you say, no, for sure. She stands up, she goes, excellent. This isn't my specialty. I need to go get somebody. Most aren't ready to pay immediately. And when that's done, we could start the rituals this evening. Just give me a few moments and I'll be right back. And she gets up and scurries out of the room with a faster pace, almost an excited look to her, just gleaming in her eye as she leaves. You're left alone for a few minutes. Unless you're doing anything in particular, those few minutes pass.
Max, if there's no smoking signs, then Max, of course, lights up.
There are no actual no smoking signs.
I know you can actually smoke in here, but he is.
When you go to light up the fire, actually, we see Max for a moment. He reaches in, he pops a cigarette out and places it between his lips as he grabs his lighter. And as he goes to flick the lighter, the flame refuses to catch.
Son of a bitch. All right.
As you maybe realize, a lot of ancient knowledge in books, so be it. The door eventually opens back up with her walking in with another woman. This one much older than she is. As she has as she walks in with a small wooden box. She sits down on the couch, and there's the symbol on top of the wooden box is the Chantry symbol, or the Tremere symbol. You're familiar with the Tremere symbol? If you are not, it's like a circle with a square and a circle in it and a square in it. I mean, look it up. It's just
yeah, I've seen that before. It's all right.
You see it. It pops open, and inside there lies 5 glass vials and a small, very plain-looking dagger. She reaches down and places gently her delicate fingers around the dagger as she pulls it up, and she looks to your rather undelicate body in contrast. This is the older woman, and she just asks very plainly, where do you prefer to be drawn from?
Take it out of the weenus.
He points to the bunched up.
I have to imagine Max chuckles at his own fucking just saying it out loud, or no?
Yeah. And Max's weenus is, of course, really gross and knobby. And
the weenus has been around for a long time and seen too many things. She walks over to you, though, and with a vial in one hand, she will draw over the course of essentially a minute 5 vials of Vitae. How many?
Max is literally just basically as she draws one, he's sucking this probably not very sanitary looking blood bag, and it's clearly old blood, but Max can get by on eating scabs.
We'll say you end up with still a 2 hunger total at the end of this after you suck down all your blood bags in the process.
Okay.
You taking them taking 5 vials of blood from you is again that very same night. It was surprising. So the fact that they were able to get this together tonight is you can tell now at this point it's thrown the younger woman into a little bit of a tizzy, not in the confusion in that she had maybe other things happening tonight. And as the woman with the box leaves, leaving you and Miss Dubois here, she looks to you and she says, okay, well, I can certainly get to going on one of the rituals immediately. And which individual do you prefer we begin with?
Well, let's make sure that, like I say, Lady Adriana is wearing a white hat in this situation.
After I've finished this ritual, my master needs help on some research this evening. After that, would you be able to return tomorrow evening for the rest?
Yeah, I suppose. All right.
I appreciate it greatly. Do you prefer watching the ritual, or? And she kind of seems a little confused, and it's at this point, while she's been cold and calculated this entire time, you now see the green on this individual. Someone who's maybe a little younger or a little bit more new to this world than she initially gave off. And she looks to you. I don't know. Sometimes the individual will come back the next evening. I've never done one of these in front of anyone else other than my own clan.
Well, don't mind me.
Okay.
I'm just here for answers.
Okay. Well, with that then, and she sits down on the couch, and that kind of cold, calculated demeanor completely vanishes when she starts getting ready for the ritual. And you see a real passion and excitement as she opens up her notebooks and she takes out a dagger and perhaps surprising to you, a lighter that will produce fire and a long red sash alongside the card that you've handed her. And for the next 15 to 20 minutes, she speaks a language you do not understand. One that sounds, remind me, was Max in the room when Sean did his little Latin speaking when he did the thing on Vera, or was Max not there?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, cool. So for our listeners, similar, but not exactly the same to what Sean was saying. And as she goes about it very methodically, at one point you see her slice into the palm of her hand as she bleeds her own vitae onto the red sash. And as she finishes it, she takes the lighter and
as she slices into her hand, Max is just like, "Yeah, should have gone with the weenus."
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta make a roll. Okay, thank God she crit succeeds. For a minute, you see her almost like stumble over her next words when you say that out loud, but she maintains focus. And as she lights a small fire, you see the fire not as an orange fire, but a dark green. And as it kicks up and it catches the sash, you watch as it get consumed instantly. And as that smoke that lingers, it's not a dark black smoke, it's a deep red smoke. And she looks to it, and with her last gesture, she holds out her hand and she just blows. And the smoke trails out the window. And she stands and she says, "You stay here. It may take me another hour or so, but I'll be back." And she stands and hurries out the door.
Oh boy, all right. Good thing I wrote that stuff down beforehand.
Sean, in the waiting room, you actually see this young woman step out and hurriedly leave the Chantry. She doesn't give you any mind. She doesn't look at you, but you would notice her leave. After about an hour or so, she would actually have returned. She doesn't look any different than when she left, and she just heads back in. Walks back into the room with Max. Having left you there for an hour, would you read books? Is Max interested in reading any of these books at all? Or is he just like...
No, he probably actually brought some comics with him, so he's just,
So when she walks in, you're reading a comic?
Yeah, actually, I think an old Golden Age Dr. Fate comic, just to...
yeah.
In keeping with the situation.
She hurries in and she sits down. News. Lady Adriana Sinclair. I'm surprised it was as simple as it was, but she resides within... Do you know where the rack is? Colloquialism? Locally known as... Good. Locally known as the rack. A string of clubs and bars and such deep in downtown Chicago.
Would Max be familiar with that?
Well, even if you're new to Chicago, most cities have like a feeding ground area, and you'd be familiar. Most of the time, it's usually clubs. And she would continue to be like, well, she owns a penthouse within downtown. And as to, let me say, there were no threads that tied her to the others that you mentioned. She seems to operate on her own.
Okay. So she was telling the truth then?
At the very least, that she wasn't working with these others. As to where the others are, it's going to take me, like I said, I need more time. But as for Lady Adriana Sinclair herself, she seems to be truly alone. And I mean that in that, well, I guess I should say it plainly, an autarchus. Are you familiar with the term?
Autarchus? Is that from Dune or something?
She laughs. No, it's a Camarilla term. One who is aligned with none. She may follow the laws of the Camarilla, but she is distinctly independent of them. Only those with power and influence can usually maintain such a title.
Huh. Yeah.
And to be clear as well, it's not Sabbat. It's not the same as a Sabbat. She doesn't follow autarchists don't follow an ideology in that way.
Okay. Thanks, then. That puts my mind a little bit at ease, I guess.
Well, thanks to your generous and immediate payment that we were able to find out such details about her tonight. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow night then, huh?
Yes, the young man and young lady are waiting for you out front. The other individual that you entered with says to let you know that he went to go see the prince.
Yeah, all right.
The one had a very over-the-top English accent.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Well, you're let out. She nods and leads you back out. And as she wraps the conversation, you see that kind of cold, faux confident personality almost kind of return to her. And as she walks out the front door, you actually see Sean lying. Were you lying down on like a nearby like chair, couch, if I remember correctly.
Taking his place on the sofa.
Yep, and you actually see Max walk out. You never saw Robert walk out, but you do see Max walk out. And Mia would be having walked out maybe 30 seconds beforehand. And as she does, and before she can even say anything to you, Max steps out, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Where's the other one?
What other one?
Robert? Where'd he go?
He's got out of business.
Gotcha. Okay,
Cool.
She like looks kind of confused and almost like she's not sure if she's supposed to talk. Everything go good?
Yeah, about as well as could be expected. I gotta come back tomorrow night for more answers.
Okay, well,
That sounds like it went well then.
yeah, usually the Tremere don't re-invite.
Yeah, well, one thing that they seem to understand is cash on the barrelhead.
What did they ask for?
Vitae.
Okay. That's not bad. Usually it's just, how much?
If you spontaneously explode, then we'll know why.
Suppose so. Yeah, but I'm a little peckish, so I'm gonna need to make a stop at the shop, so to speak.
Cool. Well, I've been doing literally nothing for the last however
Yeah,
long.
go ahead and,
so
go ahead
let's
and make
go.
me a lying. I'm lying my ass off check. You got to make me a manipulation subterfuge. And go ahead, Max, and roll me a wits insight check, please.
1.
So that will be wits. That'll just be a straight wit roll.
Awesome.
What's the difficulty?
You have to beat a 1. Yeah, Sean rolled very badly. You got 2. Hey, yeah.
Damn it.
When Sean said that, I mean, Sean's always sounds sarcastic, but that was the sarcasm that has a layer of truth, or an extra layer of lying under it, rather. Yeah, he lying. He wasn't just lying there. Something happened.
He gives him the old Frodo quote. He's like, "Fine, keep your secrets."
Maybe later.
Mia looks but says nothing. Having remembered the conversation she had with you on the walk here, and she gets up, is like, "Okay, we should head back to our friend." She catches herself about to say Vera out loud in front of potentially listeners, and you make your way back. The return to the hotel is peaceful. And as you make your way downstairs to the private basement where Vera sits almost alone every single night, you're fully healed of your aggravated damage, right, Vera?
I am finally.
You walk down to the first night in about 3 or 4 nights to a not starving, hungry ass fucking Vera. Vera, you have about an hour to 2 before the sun comes up, and Duke was supposed to be back by now. But Max, Sean, and Mia all step downstairs.
Max will immediately go to the cooler that he's got and just like top himself off. He does not like to be hungry at all, so he takes himself back down. I guess the lowest he can go is 1.
Yeah, you can just go to 1. Yeah, so you can go down 1 more.
You see that Vera's like surrounded by all of these fabrics, but none of them are shiny or vinyl. They're black, of course, but they're, a variety of things. And she's clearly like trying them on and laying them across the skin as you kind of walk in. And she'll note you through the mirror so she doesn't have to turn around. And she says, "Oh, I see you survived your trip to the Chantry. Who sold their souls?"
Souls went on the table. Just blood.
Oh, just as good to the Chantry.
I suppose so.
Maybe we could talk about it another night. It just sounds like there's a lot I should probably talk about, but it was successful. Lot of potential information.
Yeah, and the upshot is, looks like that Ventru was telling the truth. She ain't with the others from, Gustav's old gang there.
Well, at least that means that she won't have to worry about the party, now will she?
Mia just kind of cuts everybody off. She's like, I am gonna go. I just got a lot of things I want to write down in my notebook. She just kind of head pushes herself away from the conversation and leaves.
Kid in a candy store.
Yeah, you can wits insight me Dot alone.
Okay, I'm gonna browse.
Ooh, okay.
That might get bad for me, but yeah, it did. But that's cool. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, you're hunger 4. Excellent. I'll have to make one more frenzy check tonight. Holy shit. You rolled
6 successes.
You see, she does it very quickly, but a couple of times as she's trying to back herself out, her eyes dart to Sean a couple times, and she bounces.
Sean, you should certainly have a way with women.
Don't you know it? So I sat there on the sofa doing nothing at all. Meanwhile, I went on a vision quest and I found out that there's a book in there that is called Liber Demonis, and I really, really want it.
Well, we can't always get what we want, Sean.
What if I asked really, really nicely?
Well, you don't have to ask me.
Right, but they wouldn't let me in, so I'm going to get Duke or Meer to ask nicely for me.
Where is Duke? Did you see him upstairs?
I haven't gone upstairs. I don't know where he is.
Did you see Duke, Max?
What? Duke? No.
Maybe he's in the Kinkos.
You know where he went, right? Didn't Vera know where he went?
Yes, Vera knows, but she would have expected him back by now.
Yeah.
Well, considering the fact I'm dead, somebody pick up the phone and call them upstairs and see if he's checked in for the night.
All right.
Max hits on the
You
horn.
pick up the phone. You just hear a polite voice on the other side. Blackstone Hotel. How can I help you?
Yeah, looking for Duke. He around?
The tone changes to a more subservient tone. Yes, the curator hasn't returned this evening.
The curator. Okay, yeah. Well, if the curator does show his face, get him to check in, all right?
Of course, I'll let him know immediately.
The curator, Jesus.
She hears that he's hanging up.
Yes, it's all a bit much. Well, Duke should have been back by now. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but he did go to retrieve some of our left behind belongings in Gary. He should have been back hours ago.
Shit. Huh. He went alone, eh?
He never was a fast driver.
Yes, he has his car, and he knew where he was going. It should have been a simple in and out, right?
By possessions, you're talking about what we left in the vault, right?
Of course, our most prized possessions.
Yeah.
Maybe there's still werewolves.
That thought uncomfortably settles into the room.
Well, it's a little late for us to be able to take a trip to Gary tonight.
Do you guys have a car?
Vera does. We have
Vera
the group,
does, yeah,
like
that's
SUV that John drives.
Yeah.
We can go.
Right now. We won't make it before the sun rises.
I'll sleep in the back of the van.
Well, that's great for you, Sean, but I don't look good with a tan.
I mean, you can't care that much about how Duke's doing then.
Well, considering the fact I'm the only one that asked about him.
Well, shit, I didn't know where he was in the first place.
Okay, fine. How would we get to Gary, Indiana tonight? Even if we get there, we have nowhere to go until the morning.
Yeah, that's a point.
It is a 40-minute drive from where you're at to Gary.
How long before sunrise?
About a little over 2 hours. So you could definitely get there before sunrise. And you have the tires by night area, though it got destroyed. There's still probably like a nice sunproof basement you can get to. But yeah, the vault also is sunproof.
It's your call, Vera. Either tonight or we head out first thing at sundown.
I'm not even supposed to be alive. How am I supposed to get out of here? Oh, what a pickle. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Maybe you all didn't notice, but technically Lyle is here. He's just lurking in the corner, like furniture.
Oh yeah, he's just staring very quietly, like the back corner of the room, like furthest away from everybody.
It's a little late to be asking John to drive, so we'll let him sleep. Lyle, pull the car around.
When you say Lyle, and he actually steps out of like the weird kind of shadow, it's probably the first time the other two even noticed he was there in the first place.
Oh, hey, Lyle.
Pull the car around, please, and I hope you can drive fast.
He nods and just scurries off.
Okay, how are we getting me out of the building?
Well, there's a lot of fabric. We could bundle you up.
Oh my god. This is very expensive fabric meant for a very specific purpose. We're not going to bundle me in it and toss me in the back like a dead body.
Well, look, I got a duffel bag. If you want to crawl in, I'll just carry you out.
In a duffel bag?
Sorry, it ain't fancy.
Oh my god. If you tell anyone about this, I will crawl into Max's military duffel bag to get carried outside to the car.
No, it's great. This is very classy. It's Ocean's 11.
Sean, no one asked you. As I'm like zipping myself up like a contortionist into this bag. Yeah.
You're able to get carried. Listen, you have a cleaning crew and you probably go out the back door. But you do pile into the. Do you want to feed first, Vera, and get this fury, this frenzy?
Well, the plan was to feed from Lyle, but now he needs to drive a car.
Yep.
So
you could have some blood delivered down.
You know what? If we're going out of the maintenance area, is catering back here? Can I just scoop up what would be a glass of blood or two on my way out? And just
what I need you to do is just make me your hunger frenzy check.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you resist.
Okay, whoo, nailed it.
All right. So you guys get in the vehicle and Lyle drives, and he starts driving fast, but he goes. As you do, our camera moves across the road, rapidly across the highway and over to Gary, Indiana itself, where we settle into a very quiet, pitch black vault. You've been left in here for hours at this point, Duke. What exactly are you doing while you are in here?
Duke just stands and waits. This was inevitable.
As the hours pass, eventually you hear, though muffled, very, very muffled through that door, a voice that you have to strain to hear. But you are kindred, so being able to hear such things is within your purview. And as you hear that voice, you actually hear it starts with a small chuckle, and you can hear the slight thud of whoever it is leaning up against the door as they begin to speak clearly to you. Listen, curiosity killed the cat, etc., but I just gotta know, why the fuck did you come back? And it's not a voice you recognize. It's certainly not Garrett of Gary, in case it's your concern. It's an wholly unfamiliar voice. Males.
You care to make this an even conversation?
No.
Can you at least turn a light on?
There's you hear like a few beats of silence, maybe because he left, and then you just hear him go, couldn't find the switch. I just want to know, before I watch the sun crack your skin and turn you into a pile of dirt like you are, why you came back.
I came back for the people that were left here. There's a couple of people. There's a man and two women.
Yeah.
Can't remember the women's names. Pretty girls. One they called the Visionary. Said she was like a book. The other here is a pile of ash. I didn't quite catch her name.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That wily little smart-ass mouth guy that was in here.
Yes. He was a smart-ass. Garrett. He was a convenient gopher.
Last I knew he was alive and well. At least alive.
That's unfortunate.
You actually hear him give a very hearty laugh at that. He laughs. As for the other one, yeah, she's alive. Being used, as far as I understand.
Was she taken by Max?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, well then, apparently you don't know as much as you think you know.
All I know is we're just cleaning out the last roaches who scurried away when the light turned on.
I'm gonna guess that you're a lupine.
Ain't you a smart one?
Oh no, just observant. There's a difference. Being smart would realize... Well, you would realize that I didn't just simply allow myself to walk into a trap because I went unexpectantly. I anticipated as such. Was hoping for a conversation.
Well, looks like I get entertained and you get your last dying wish.
It's kind of you. It's not at all what I've heard about most lupine.
Yeah, there's no response to that.
Were you the one that chased me from the city limits?
Oh, no, God, no.
I was worried about him at first.
I was one of the ones sitting on the stairs when you drove by those 3 times.
I was worried.
You should have been. Should have listened to your instincts, old man.
I was more worried about what had happened to him when he had rushed out from the wall of the thicket, the trees. He looked concerned, injured. So what are you hoping to gain here now from me? You just want to see me die?
Yeah, that's long and short of it. I don't want anything out of you. I'm just entertained. Watching you turn to dust never fucking gets old.
And what's the benefit, then?
One less of you. And Gaia can heal.
Interesting. So what does Gaia think about lupine that are also entertaining their own personal endeavors?
We all are a little partially human still, ain't we?
Well, Some of us were never really human, even when we were.
You can't hear anything, but as the camera's kind of got this profile shot, we see the both of you in the door, the vault door thick as fuck in the middle. We see him nodding along.
Did you kill her?
Oh, me? No. Wasn't part of the hit crew. Came in afterward.
Do you know about the rest of them, the kindred, not just here, but the others that were inside of the city?
Not details. We just found them, routed them, killed as many as we could.
What if I could find you the rest?
Bargaining for your life.
No. I'll live through this and bargaining for freedom and a connection.
I appreciate you living up to what I'm told. Always looking to make a bargain. Always looking to weasel and worm your way out of any situation.
I'm just saying if your reputation stands as much as you believe mine does.
Irma, just give a chuckle. Reputation, okay. Our camera once again pulls away for a moment and blurs to the edges of Gary. As you guys are driving, before we cut to the scene, do you guys have any conversation you want to have on the drive, or is it just like business, we're driving?
Yes, I do. Lest we not forget, if these are in fact lupine, they sniffed us out pretty quickly last time, in a vehicle nonetheless, and we split up. So, Sean, in all of your magic firepower you don't have a way to, I don't know, shield us? Hide us?
Hide? No. Shield? I've been thinking about it.
Well, maybe you think faster. We have exactly 20 minutes inside this town before we will not make it back to Chicago before the sun rises.
All right. Max, give me your lighter.
Here you go. Which one you want, the Zippo or the Bic?
Whichever's biggest.
Yeah, the Zippo then. Here you go. Be careful with that.
On my best behavior, I promise. Sean is going to prepare a bunch of stuff. He's going to search around for a notepad or scrunch up newspaper, and he's going to burn that to ashes just so he's got that prepared for later.
Okay. So you seem like a pyromaniac kid in the backseat of a car. He's just burning papers into ash.
And he's going to basically get as much ash as he possibly can and shove it in his pocket. And then start to see if there's anything else that he can have a fire going with that he can stick on the top of the...
Vera says, check the glove compartment. There's receipts and parking citations and napkins.
Any guns?
No. Well, not in the glove compartment.
I mean, Max is currently loading his sawed-off shotgun with some Dragon's Breath rounds. He's also got that silver candlestick that had been sort of turned into brass knuckles or silver knuckles with him.
Ooh, give me just one of those flame rounds.
Jeez, all right, here you go, kid. Be careful with that, though. That's magnesium.
He stares at it, puts it close to his eye. This'll do. And he just kind of starts to open it up from the front end. And it's all right, I'm good.
You're okay, that's it.
You're good. We are supposed to be good.
When we get attacked, it'll be useful. That's all I'm saying. I'm prepared.
Great. I feel much better.
Sorry, if we get attacked.
Yeah, well, I mean, Duke not showing up when he was supposed to don't look good, I'll say that.
No, we're going to start with the bank, and Lyle drop us off about a block away. I say we don't all go in together.
As you're saying that as you're coming into the outer skirts of Gary, and just as you're mid-conversation, I have to make a roll. Wow. Lyle, last minute, as an individual seems to stroll out from the street into the middle of the road and within getting hit by the car distance, Lyle snappily slams the brakes and whips the wheel super hard to the left, just kind of having all of you get whipped to one side of the car, cutting your conversation off mid-sentence as the tires squeal and he wheels around this individual and just barely fucking avoids them. He looks into the back mirror. I'm assuming all of you do as well. And you watch as this individual starts jogging and running rather fucking quickly after your car.
Okay, this is our chance. We're going to meet at the bank. Max, go invisible. Sean, protect everyone. I can outrun this creature.
Great, on it.
Lyle gets one more roll. If he fails this one...
Don't fail, Lyle. Come through for me. Come through for me.
Wow, holy fuck, dude. He does not let off the gas, and as he moves into the city, he immediately starts taking side streets that as though he knows them, moving through roads and taking turns, basically doing everything he possibly can to lose the tail of somebody following him. Barring the fact that he essentially left this guy in the dust in the first place with his first crit, this time around he seems to truly he has lost this individual. Moving into Gary itself.
I was getting ready to jump out the back of the van, make a dive roll.
Yeah.
I say so everyone can hear. Good job, Lyle. You might actually get to see me naked next time.
He needs to make a roll.
Now he crashes.
You need to keep composure, resolve. Can he keep it together? 2 successes. There's a moment where, like, as you say that, he like slams the brake accidentally, kind of like sending you all
His
forward
glasses
for a minute.
start to fog up.
Yeah, and he like pushes glasses up, and he just tries to keep really quiet, but you can just see the quivering in his fucking hands when you say that. He drives you to the bank, past the bank. Do you want to be driven past the bank, or like
just a block out so that we can go on foot and not put Lyle? We don't need our car at risk. We need a way out of this place.
Yeah. Okay. So do you even want him to? So he stops before the bank. He even gets there. You can see in the distance, but he stops a block out. And as he does and drops you here, do you tell him where to like pick you up, to stay here? What do you want him to do?
Yes, I was like, lightly loop the block. I imagine you know when it's time to pick us up.
And you all leave as he nods and says,
Max will obfuscate, obviously, before the door opens.
All right, make your rouse check for it. Lyle will peel away, and our vision, in the process, just pushes forward a block into the vault itself, where the conversation between the two of them was continuing.
Oh, hunger! I got some hunger.
Obviously, we rewind time a little bit for that conversation to continue. But go ahead, Duke. Use negotiating your value, essentially.
Can I get your name? You have a name. I'm sure you do.
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not new. I mean, like, don't look you in the eyes. I'm not going to give you my fucking name. I'm not going to let you get my blood. I'm not going to give.
Then is there anything that I can call you by?
Yeah, you can just call me Guy.
Guy. It seems like there's a lot of guys out there these days.
So many guys.
Well, Guy. My name is Duke. That's not a pretend name. It's Duke. It's what I go by. You can take it for what you leave it.
You are the Duke, really? Yeah, that's fat. How old are you?
I'm not very old. There are many significantly older than myself. Probably in my 80s at this point. Guy, are you familiar with dog racing terms?
What are you getting at? Stop speaking in riddles.
Are you familiar with dog racing terms?
Not really.
You've never been to a dog race?
No.
You know any kind of racing at all?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know how it works.
Great. You understand how it works. Fantastic, Guy. Let me hit you with some information here. Maybe it changes the way that you think about things. In dog racing, there's some unique terminology it's not very common in many other types of racing, not by foot race, not by car or special vehicle. Dog racing is very different. We, as people, we want to see the dog come to a finish. We want there to be a winner. But to the dogs, it's different. They don't care about who comes first. It's about chasing the hare, the rusty. That's what it's called if you didn't know, the rusty. Guy, I'm the rusty. And you might think that you're the dog in the chase. No, there is no winner in this. I'm the rusty that runs town to town to let the dogs know if there's any reason to send the forces. Chasing me down just indicates that you're bringing a brand new swath of beasts, of hounds, that are designed to specifically deal with threats on the board. And you've seen your way through a couple of kindred, as I can see. You can see the dust here on the ground where they died. We have in our world what is calculated assessment, and there's negotiable and manageable losses. We anticipate as such. We don't breed the same way that you or the rest of kind do. That's a bit more of an intricate pattern, something that is frowned upon even. And as of such, my kind are generally very greedy. So, we accept that there are some losses. A few weeks ago, maybe a month, 2 months even, We had heard that there was a massive lupine event, that each of your kind had gone through a bit of a grieving process. Something was found, and it riled you, brought you to a point of attack. But you probably don't know that we were the ones that were sent here to wipe out the other kindred threat. We started removing the threats that you thought that you could finish. Just like you thought that you were going to finish me, I'm just a Rusty. And killing me will bring more here. So, Guy, is there really value in watching me dust here, Ash, other than feeding your beast, collecting a pail of dust and dumping me into a can?
You may make me a manipulation, persuasion, or intimidation. I'll let you decide on how you're really kind of approaching this.
I'm gonna rouse. I'll do manipulation, persuasion, and
you have just enough to reroll 3 if you wanted to willpower it.
Definitely gonna do it. 7 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct. That's a lot. There's a beat of silence. Do you honestly think we are scared of you at all? You are, at best, a nuisance to us. When an infestation gets too big, when the ants start appearing in your kitchen, sometimes you got to take a spray and put them back in their fucking place.
And you don't think that we're part of our own spray?
Oh, sure. I'm sure you have your own little defense force, your own little army ants you send out. And I'm sure they sting when they bite. You think so highly of yourself.
No, it's quite the reverse, Guy. I don't think very highly of myself at all.
And so what you're trying to tell me is if I leave you here and kill you, they're going to send a bunch out to come kill us and fight us and cause more problems. But if we let you out, then what? You're going to be a nice guy and just be like, well, I'll keep everybody away. How do I even know you have that kind of sway?
I've been in this vault for roughly 4 hours and 34 minutes. At 5 hours, I'm expected to check in. And if I do not check in, there will be at first one single vehicle. And then there will be more. I have no reason to lie to you. I don't have to see your eyes. You can test and tell just by the sound of my voice, Guy.
I mean, you have every reason to lie to not die.
I don't care about that, Guy. I got a second lease on life. I'm not going to give you that story because I frankly don't think that you care.
There's, again, that silence. You know what? You're fucking weird. Probably the weirdest one of your kind I've ever fucking met.
I get that a lot.
You said again that kind of maybe 2 or 3 beats of silence. You suddenly hear the door start to creak from unlocking, as you can hear starting to move.
As it creaks and you start to see like the light, Duke is probably just kind of pushing around the dust in the shirt with the claw swipe from the lupine.
And as the light kind of peers in and does start to fill, what we see you over his shoulder, but our camera then zooms in to whip behind Duke and just out of focus through the front door. You can see Vera and Sean. Obviously, Max is invisible, so you can't see him. But Vera striding in. And Vera, you see the scene of the door being opened with Duke inside. This guy who's just, he's got like shoulder length brown hair, like kind of similar to mine. He's clean shaven on his face. And he's just wearing a look like a Nirvana t-shirt and just shorts, like cargo shorts and sneakers. And he's opening the door inward to Duke's face.
I'm going to just, if he doesn't notice us yet, and it doesn't seem like Duke is in distress, I'm going to just watch silently.
So I say, if everybody's staying silent.
Do I see Vera?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely you do.
Does he realize Vera is there? Vera and Max?
He's going to make a roll here in a second to see if he hears them walking in.
Sure.
I'm, of course, obfuscated, so I'm basically going to do the usual thing of getting my gun out and getting right into position behind him. The barrel a couple of inches from the back of his head.
Before if I can see them, I'm going to tell him, don't panic. Nobody panic.
He does, like, as the door opens and you're saying don't panic, he actually does turn. He turns and he very, very purposely avoids eye contact with everybody, but enough to see your periphery or like he's looking at your legs and stuff. He goes, this must be the 5 o'clock check-in.
I would be inclined to agree. And if everyone would remain calm, this can be a peaceful endeavor.
Well, considering the fact we're running just a little short on time, Duke, your carpool has arrived.
You don't see fear on this guy's face, and you see kind of an excitement.
I will not peer into your vision, as you've heard many correct things about our kind. But what I like to say is that you made a choice, and I think it's the right choice for both of us right now. I would like to know where Garrett is, and the woman that they referred to as the visionary.
Oh, that fucking smart mount took off. I don't know where the fuck he is. But if you get him or if I get him before you, you'll never see him again. I make you that promise now.
I expect that he has 0 survival.
And the woman was babbling something about the future of our kind, so she ended up being grabbed.
Well, I'm expected to return. Do you have any ideas where she might be? Anything?
No, but if I would guess, she's probably being kept somewhere just outside Gary in the woods, but beyond that, I ain't got much.
I'm willing to make some negotiations. I'm willing to give answers for things that I think that you and your kind might like, or at least that you desire. But it's in our best interest to leave Gary permanently with that woman.
I can't get her even tonight. I don't even know exactly where she is. I gotta talk to people, set up this meeting. You want to talk to somebody? That's gonna be a fucking riot.
I understand that our kind incites a very particular response. We have a very interesting stink. And you have found your way in a position where you're not transforming and attempting to tear us apart. We will be here for one night, Guy.
Sounds good. How about we meet back right here tomorrow night, just as the sun goes down?
I can't guarantee where the others will be.
That's fine. Well, this was more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. And you, my friend, are funny as fuck. That sarcasm, dry. I appreciate it.
You'll find me a lot less viable fiction. This isn't a fable, my friend.
Yeah, sure. And he literally just walks away after he says, yeah, sure. Leaving the three of you alone.
Waiting for him to be out of sight and sound.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting. They were waiting. There's many of them.
Yes, I know. This is why I maybe don't think it's a great idea to stay the night. And Gary, can't you come back tomorrow?
Where are we going to go?
Home, Duke. Back to the hotel. At least long enough to stay safe for the night. You can't expect us to hole up in that vault.
That's fair. I don't recommend staying in the vault. The sister was murdered.
You see the pile of ash, Vera?
Garrett's gone. He's in the wind, and the visionary's been taken by the lupine.
Interesting. Vera, looks like all of my problems have been solved.
Her timing was rather perfect, to be honest. I led him on with this ruse about me being a chase rabbit in a greyhound race, and I told him that the 5 o'clock check-in was important and that many more of the cavalry would end up here. So, impeccable timing, Vera.
We do what we can do, considering the fact you didn't check in. I guess you could say we worried. The car's parked around the corner, though I imagine yours is stashed somewhere nearby.
It's around the block, yes.
We should get moving.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm not going to regret not putting 2 rounds in the back of that asshole's head.
Of course we will. But the last thing we need is a lupine fight tonight.
He was releasing me before he knew that you were here. He either bought my ruse.
I'm glad to hear that you can talk your way out of a lupine confrontation, but I don't know that we can. We should get walking.
I agree.
Let's go.
You all return to your vehicles, and as you do, and the cars roll off. So too our screen fades to black, and we'll return next week with a brand new episode. Goodbye, everybody.